Welcome to Stories from the Coop. Ever wonder how brilliant businesses hatch, nurture, and thrive? Join us as we crack open the journeys of Project 3810 eggheads. Get ready to hear exceptional stories, because who needs boring business talk when you got this? Let's get cracking. Welcome to the pilot episode of Stories from the Coop.
Hello.
Hi, I got Shawn Wright and I here. We are wanting to do this pilot episode one as we launch this new Stories from the Coop, because we want to give you a little bit of background of 3810 and our journey and evolution, and also kind of launch this new series, Stories from the Coop. So, hi, Shawn.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
So, Shawn, why don't you start? Tell us from your recollection of how did Project 3810 come to be?
Well, we both worked together at a neighboring business, and this building was empty, and we were trying to figure out what that meant. And like, should we just leave it alone and let someone else buy it? And then it's like, maybe it's a neighbor that we are like, oh gosh, we wish it wasn't those guys or something like that. Or should we buy it for ourselves, for that business, for like expansion? How
do we justify this economic purchase was kind of the...
Well, that in combination with the price kept going down. The owners of the building were really trying to get rid of it. And so they kept dropping
years went by.
Years. And so when we finally decided, let's take a shot at this, you and some others kind of gathered, some partners, and you opened it up to, folks close to the vest and said, hey, let's do this thing. And once we got down that road a little bit, we were trying to figure out, okay, well, now what do we do with it? And you and I are both from a kind of an educational background. We met teaching and like many years ago. And so we knew we wanted it to be kind of an educational component. We also knew you have a life coaching aspect to your life, and we knew we wanted it to be, business oriented. You read a lot of books about, running businesses and that sort of thing. So we knew we wanted all that kind of,
and all our tech stuff.
Yeah, and we were both tech people, so we knew we wanted it all of that in there. So we knew it was going to be educational. We didn't know right away, but then you were saying something about the state. You had learned about the state incubator program.
Yeah. Because I subscribe to all the emails for career techs and any entrepreneurial resources or business resources. So I got it. They were promoting this incubator program, and I was like, what is this? And why haven't I heard of it? That's most things, but
yeah. And then I don't remember how we discovered the Incubator Association, but we decided to go to a meeting and learn about it. And I think pretty quickly going to that, we were like, we need to do this. Yeah. This needs to be a business incubator, and there's all these people here to help us.
Yeah.
Because they were very welcoming, and they were like, we all share information, and we all share processes and that sort of thing. So we knew that help was going to help us move forward with it.
Mm-hmm. The Oklahoma Business Incubator Association, OKBIA.
OKBIA, yeah. So bought the building in July. In
July of 2017.
we started to.
It was an underutilized and unloved, nobody wanted building that now has become this flourishing community. That's really exciting.
Yeah, we only did a few months of renovation. It just, like most things were fine, so like.
And on a bare bones budget. Yeah.
So like some carpet in some places, some paint in some places. Everything was, this whole thing was pretty much the textbook
recycle,
definition.
Reuse was
that and
the name of the game.
The whole, bootstrap thing.
For sure.
Very much, you go to a lot of other incubators or co-working spaces, and, no, nothing bad about those guys.
Right,
they're all great, but like, you can tell there has been a lot of money, a lot of
yeah.
thought, that sort of thing. And not that we haven't had a lot of thought into what we're doing, but, it was very much a make do with what you got, and so a lot of our spaces
privately funded. We're like literally and for profit, so we don't have availability to some of those budgets and grants.
We can't get grants, and exactly. So we were very much just well, if it works, it works, and.
Yep.
An early tenant said something. We had our first tenant, I think, in October, so we just had a few months of getting everything together. We had to run network lines. We had to buy phones for the offices. We had to get internet to the building.
Right.
We had to have, we had to add the security system. There were places that we had to kind of wall off because those parts of the building weren't ready yet, and that sort of thing. So. But we got our first tenants in October, and an early tenant said something like they had come out of one of those fancier places and made the statement that place was Star Trek and this place is Star Wars, and I'm more of a Star Wars fan, so that kind of sat with me a little bit, and so
we are the Millennium Falcon here.
Right.
Yeah, some duct tape.
But bucket of bolts.
Bucket of bolts.
That's not meant to be derogatory to ourselves or to our community. It's just it's just kind of how things are going.
Sometimes the no frills is important, though.
Right.
It's
right.
Like we get the job done.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of changes over the years. As a matter of fact, if you speak to some of our vendors who aren't here very much, like our alarm company or the locksmith, they come back so infrequently. So it might be like 6 months or a year, sometimes maybe even 2 years between their visits. And they'll be like, wow, so much has changed since the last time I was here. There might be new walls, there might be new offices, there might be combined offices, there might be
a podcast studio.
Yeah, exactly. so a lot has changed over the years, incrementally.
Yeah.
But I think the heart of it is still largely remained the same. We've kind of changed how we're messaging things and changed, just like I said, just super small things to course correct.
Yeah.
But the core of what we're doing here, I think, has largely stayed the same.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
And I think what has happened, as you see with most entrepreneurial journeys, at some point along the way, you get a connection between what your business vision was and how you speak about it. So it's like the voice of the business actually now resigns through. And so it's like the egghead community and like leaning into all the fun things that we can do has like been one of the most pivotal things that I feel like has given us legs in a way that we didn't quite have that before.
Yeah, the message has long been kind of a somewhat disjointed one, mostly fine, but maybe not quite fully unified. And I think just in this last iteration of looking at our messaging, we're finally getting it to where it's a consistent, well strung together message. Yeah.
So welcome to the egghead community. And so hence we've hatched stories from the Coop. And our goal, and it always has been a goal, but capacity and resources and things like that, is to tell the entrepreneurial stories. And that is so important because I feel it's so relatable. I think it helps to break down the barriers of what it means to run a business and what it looks like to run a business, especially lifestyle businesses. I get that name that a lot of tech-based or like VC-based companies that want the Uber success, literally Uber's style success.
Unicorns.
Yep. Yeah. The rest of us are just doing our thing. Like we are trying to make a living and trying to help and improve and make an impact in our little corners of the world. So I feel like the storytelling aspect of that is so important. And then the journey also, like as people come into the community, we're going to have those opening segments where we're going to tell the story of, hey, you're new to 3810. You may not be new in business, but you're new here. And then their journey while they're here. So, and then the journey if they fly the Coop, whether that means they physically move to a different space or whether that just means that they're on a different tangent. It's like we want to give these peaks to the whole journey because it is not linear. There's not like, oh, start here and then do ABC and then you'll have a successful business. It just doesn't work that way. Yeah. So And this even speaks to our story of not being linear and how the changes have happened over the years.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We met in 1998 and had a friendship pretty much right away, but then like you were over there working your thing and I was over here working my thing, and then at one point you came over here and then we were working together in different organizations but at the same place, and then you went back and went over there and I was still over here, and then I went somewhere else and then somewhere else, and then I was like, oh, well, I'll go over there now, and so it's been it's
and now that change is happening again, but
right.
And so even like as entrepreneurs, as we're doing this 3810 big business, we've had our day jobs.
Right.
So the goal is to figure out a way for, as we continue to grow and navigate, was like, how does it not be a day job only? What does those look like? So I think that's true with a lot of entrepreneurs. You're going to find that, especially if you're starting out and bootstrapping something and you have big visions, that you have to have a source of income.
Yep.
So, figuring out how to navigate all those things in life is part of that journey and part of the story. It's like, how are you making it work? How did you get from A to B and then from D to E, or from Z to L?
What's after Z?
Z to L. I don't know. It's just like, it's not linear.
I know.
But anyway, so cool. We're excited. We're going to have some episodes dropping and hope you guys stay tuned.